everyone, I'm Samson Sees here with another look into the events and stories that are hitting the headlines on social media sites across the world. On this episode of the show, we look into the stories that have you talking and take a deeper look into how the stories make you feel. So sit back, relax, and let's surf the web. Our first topic covers the anniversary of the Islamic Republic of Iran's revolution. 41 years ago, the birth of the Islamic Republic paved the way in showing the world that unity stood up against the US-backed Pahlavi regime. However, on a more solemn note, the 11th of February, or the 22nd of Bahman, marks the 40-day anniversary of the assassination of the People's Martyr Lieutenant General Soleimani, which brought millions of people together to mourn the heroes of us. So let's have a look at what is being said by the world on social media about the victory of the revolution 41 years ago. The first one is a YouTube user called This Goya Knows. Khomeini the Great is the architect of the Islamic Revolution and resistance movement which defeated Israeli theocracy back in 1999 to 2006. Inshallah, we'll celebrate in occupied lands. Next one is a Facebook user called Muhammad Abbas saying, "Long live the Iranian nation who stands still against the US involvement and cruel acts of terrorism, economic terrorism and social terrorism." Now the third is a Twitter user called Habiba Jaghori saying, "Iran has the greatest revolution of all time that overthrew the imperialistic scum and continuously achieves independence from arrogant powers whilst helping the oppressed to this day. The people of this country love their revolution and always will." Iran has taken large steps to become a pioneer in the modern space race with the launch of the Seymour carrying the Zafar satellite. The mission, although not completed, is another sign that Iran is on the verge of placing orbital satellites into production with the aim of monitoring weather, agriculture and oil fields. The results and lessons learned from the mission will no doubt inspire Iran's young scientists to improve the project and see imminent success in the future. So what have you all been saying about this topic? Let's see. On Twitter, Obrian says, "This doesn't make sense to me. Whatever propaganda behind belittling Iran is a failed cause. Iran has done great and is appreciated. It won't spend billions of dollars making a satellite knowing that it won't reach the destination. It doesn't make sense. Iran is in a great period." On Facebook, we have Hilal Mir saying, "Congratulations. Oppressed section of the world feels proud. Resistance, determination, consistence, and hard work are best tools to reply to the oppressor. Long live." YouTube user Nima Ramon says, "Don't forget that Iran is under sanctions for the last 40 years, but still it is improving much faster than other nations. So get ready, world. A new superpower is emerging. While the US has $22 trillion debt, Iran has no debt. So the future is for Iran." And now over to Syria, where yet again the Syrian army has discovered dumps of US weapons and ammunition left behind by al-Qaeda terrorists. The findings clearly undermines the US claims that they are in the area to fight terrorism when the evidence has left their fingerprints all over the crime scene. The finding comes as the Syrian army make significant advances against the US-backed terrorist groups operating in the country. seems that the US has been caught red-handed here. What then has the World Wide Web been saying about this significant find? Now on Twitter we have Matty saying, Americans' life in US depends on selling weapons and wars. A peaceful world can't have such a country with such a bloody economy. The US needs to change themselves instead of changing others. On YouTube we have Revelation saying CIA black budget tax dollars rinsed, washed and funneled through companies that exist solely on paper with timely dispatch from Turkey. How many more examples do we need to see of Israel and the USA's blatant funding of these, and so on? On Facebook we have Jan saying Syria has the right to fight any foreign forces in the country because it is occupation and illegal. US senators have appealed to Twitter to suspend the accounts of the leader of the Islamic Republic, Sayyid Ali Khamenei, and Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif. The senators threatened the providers with sanctions. The US officials threatened Swiss company Allseas when they went against US policy with the Nord Stream project. And now they are targeting Twitter and other social media sites. So, what are they so afraid of? Here's what you had to say. Now on Twitter we have Caleb saying, now I've got Facebook telling me a post from weeks ago about Qasem Soleimani and his role in defeating ISIS violates community standards. So let's get this straight. The fact that a top Iranian general protected Christians in Syria from ISIS is not allowed on Facebook. Now on Twitter we have Sore saying, extreme violence, okay cowards, Instagram deleting his photos. Delete as much as you want, he is in the hearts of millions. Now we have Angry Birds replying to Sore, and he says, and my Hezbollah posts. Over now to Hebron, where Israeli occupying forces have killed another Palestinian in the West Bank. In yet another example of disproportionate use of force, the Israeli military forces have yet again ended a young life as 17-year-old Muhammad al-Haddad was fatally wounded as he resisted the building of Israeli settlements on Palestinian land. And finally, sad scenes in Thailand have brought social media to light as the death toll rose to 29 people following a shooting incident in which a disgruntled Thai soldier went on a gun rampage in a Thai shopping centre. The shooter was subsequently neutralized by Thai forces, yet it is another example of how gun control needs to be addressed on a global scale.
นี่แหละชุดนี้เลยอันนี้เวลาไหนพี่ล่าสุดไหมตอน6:15ครับ6:15เนาะนี่แหละชุดนี้ถ่ายรูปให้พี่ดูดิฮัลโหลครับใช้ปืนอะไรเนาะ
Fucking Thai. Jesus.
หมอบลงสเปป
Well, that's it for another edition of Hashtag Trending here on Press TV. Don't forget, you can find us on all the usual online sources. Just check out our very own Hashtag Trending. And if you want to share any stories that interest you, we'd be happy to hear from you. Until next time, I've been Samson Sees. See you soon.